Arturo's manipulation. Arturo is my rival for many reasons. He's the only person that caught me off guard in Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. He is the only person that is the same as me, the exact same as me. If you want to know the truth behind me and Arturo, is me and Arturo are the same height. I'm black and he's white. I have green eyes and he has blue eyes. We are the ultimate rivals. There was literally this black girl that went to the Jewish school with him, telling him that he was the finest white boy in the school. Literally. It was so fucking funny, but the reason why this is called Arturo's manipulation is the exact same way that people know that I'm irreplaceable, is the exact same way I knew that he was irreplaceable. This is the story about how he got over on his girlfriend, why his girlfriend left him, but why his girlfriend fell for him. So, Arturo went out with his girlfriend since freshman year, and his girlfriend was slightly hot, but the great thing about that is his girlfriend was understanding until she became too popular. But the reason why this all ties in is because Arturo became a hoodlum, and she wanted him to stop smoking. She broke up with him because he was smoking, but she got back on as soon as she started smoking. So here's what happened. So me and Arturo have this constant debate where I constantly try to tell him to be bright and stuff like that, because I'm trying to tell him that there's more to life than just that gloomy shit, because I grew up with Mr. Pleasure. I grew up with all these positive figures that tells you that you can have your cake and eat it too, against the gangster, because gangsters ain't shit. And literally, I always tried to put the Mr. Pleasure philosophy on Arturo. Subconsciously, even though I couldn't word it like Mr. Pleasure, Arturo would always come back with a clever wordplay, saying that nice guys finish last. And I tried telling him that, yo, the good guys always win. And he's all like, dude, TV brainwashes you because it teaches you not to fight the bad guys. I'm like, dude, you're one of those people who wants me to fight a bad guy so I can get in trouble. I didn't know that at the time. I took it at face value, but Arturo was a master at manipulation because he knew that he was irreplaceable to me. He knew that he was irreplaceable to Anti-Brother Itachi. He got over on everyone. The reason why Anti fronted him was because he loved Arturo. Arturo was the closest thing to being black that is white on this earth. And Anti-Brother Itachi kept on telling me, stop being like a white boy, stop hanging out with Isaiah. So he loved it when I started hanging out with Arturo. Stop popping pills, stop doing this and that. Oh, Arturo's cool. He comes from Alabama, he's hella chill. And I'm like, that's how he got over on you. He has a girlfriend and you don't, Anti. And literally, Arturo knew the power of having female validation versus thinking that females have cooties and shit. And the reason why everything came into place is Anti even offered him. There was one day where me and Arturo skipped school to smoke. And literally, so Anti pulls Arturo in the car while I'm in the passenger. He's like, hey, you sick too? And that's hella funny. That's hella full of love. But if you listen to that last story, you cannot let all those laughs get in the way of that manipulation. And Arturo literally is so genius. This is one time where me, him, and Diamante are smoking towards a mall that we don't usually go to. So Arturo's scheme is this. He's more social than me on the outside, but on the inside, I know he's still the same, but he always has these tools. He always has this shit that stops him from actually going there. And the crazy thing about this was, this is at a time where I tried to get him to hang out with girls, but I can get girls. I want Arturo to be more social. And so literally this, we just get done smoking a blunt with Diamante, and Diamante fronts Arturo. And literally, so Arturo on the way to the mall is asking me for a swisher, and he's like, dude, we need to smoke again. I'm like, bro, we just fucking smoked. And he's all like, dude, you're hella retarded because my tolerance is hella higher than yours. I'm all like, dude, we still freaking smoke. He's like, are you gonna get a swisher? I'm like, nah, but we can back at the mall. He's like, okay. So literally, I paid for Arturo's bus pass. I paid for everything. And so when it came down to it, he juked left as soon as we were about to enter the mall because I wasn't gonna buy him a swisher after we just smoked. And so he's like, nope. Literally, and he juked to the left on the bus. The craziest part about it is it wasn't so much him playing me, it was the fact that he was socially awkward the whole time. He's the one with no game. He's the one settling for a fat girl. And so that's why that was a genius strategy to cover up the fact that he was socially awkward. He made me think that he was just abusing me. Like, no, if he was more socially entwined, he wouldn't feel a need to front. And that's why he is uncivil. He tells me to be aware of my surroundings when he knows that he gets away with shit and that he fucks up, and he continues to get over people and get over people, and his girlfriend kept on telling him to be nice. His girlfriend told him the same thing that I kept on telling him, that you need to be more bright, because she was a cheerleader and he went to a juvie school, but she still stuck with him because of that undeniable charisma. She paid for everything. She paid for food. She paid for tree. I'm like, how can somebody be attracted to someone who's such an asshole? It's because he's irreplaceable. It's because he's a little boy. It's because there's more to the story than that, is why she kept on hanging around him. She paid for everything. But me, I had a job at the time, and I was looking at her like, why the fuck would you do that? But you know what? Karma hit Arturo hard, because after he realized that he was abusing her is when she stopped doing everything. She left Arturo with the greatest pair of blue balls. It got to a point where I got my revenge on Arturo. I started walking to random places over and over again. I started realizing all you have to do to get girls is start talking to a bunch of random girls in different areas so rumors don't spread. That's why they created gang stalking, to invade people's privacy. Some will say yes and some will say no. No, not like every single person is an archetype like high school. So I started sending them hella fucking thick bitches, hella thick pictures. And literally, so I literally started texting Arturo that after he's getting rejected by his girl, and then he started trying too hard, trying to buy her flowers and shit. It was so fucking funny. Was he just paying for everything for you? So I texted him every fucking thing. And literally, I fucking smacked him. I sent him thirst pick after thirst pick after thirst pick after thirst pick, and he got where he deserved, because I'm all like, so Arturo, what was good? And literally, so Arturo hesitates. He's like, oh, you're talking about my bits and stuff like that? No, I'm talking about the multiple pictures of bitches that I sent you. He's all like, Aaron, don't fire yourself. I'm like, Arturo, don't fire yourself either. Something you're never gonna be able to touch. That's how I got my revenge. So that manipulation went out the water, but literally, he was the king of manipulate. He manipulated my brother, and he manipulated his girlfriend to a point where he would be the best option. He literally tried to convince me that weed wasn't illegal when it's over an ounce. He literally tried to have me smoke with him when there was a Ziploc. I'm like, no, I'm not going to smoke with you. That's too much weed. I don't want to get pulled over. He's like, dude, chill out. Obama just made it illegal. Obama just made it legal. I'm like, what? Literally, cannabis is already going to be legalized in California, so I partially believed him. Literally, Arturo tried to get me caught up again and again and again, and his genius fucking strategy, there was this one time where he let me know that he was in cahoots with the people in 8th grade because I was drawing the past, and he started talking about all his fights when he was in 8th grade. I'm like, okay, well, 8th grade is kind of like a general year, not knowing that it was specifically made for me. I kept on coming back to him, and so did his girlfriend. But the problem with Arturo was, the reason why he is a genius strategist is the last time I said on the Keysler video, he could have helped me with hypergamy, but he decided to cat off at the last minute. But he made it very convincing because it was convenient that he could come. There's no reason why he shouldn't come. It's not that, but it all goes back to he was socially awkward. The main point of Arturo's strategy is to pretend that he was gangster when he wasn't. So I would believe him when he says like, oh, my tolerance is hella higher than yours. It's a universal principle. When you abuse the fact that you're irreplaceable, I used to do stupid shit. Like I used to, annoy my mom, telling her about why I can't get a girlfriend, why I can't do this and that. And I thought that I was abusing that principle, but I wasn't, because she wasn't giving me anything better. And I've been to the other side of the field, and it is better because it's the default. People say the grass is greener on the other side. When they tell you that, that means they know you're living on dirt. They actually have grass and you're living on dirt. And you know how I know this? Arturo was having so much fun with his girlfriend. Arturo was having so much fun to continue racing school that when I had my suicide attempt at the mental hospital, there were still stitches in my arm. He was high as fuck. And he literally told me to do 10 push-ups. But if you look at his facial reaction, you could tell that he didn't know what he was doing. But he didn't say it like that. I was talking about, dude, I'm hella cold. Before he jumped to the conclusion, I'm like, dude, I'm hella cold. He's like, dude, 10 pussies. I was like, nigga, there's stitches in my arm. That's how much fun he's having. Sorry, nerds, but they are having more fun. Sorry, nerds, but those gangsters are having more fun. Sorry, nerds, instead of being analytical, disagreeing with Sean Peter, Arturo was having fun. I'm sorry. Non-stop constant laughs with no responsibility is always gonna feel better with a whole bunch of more dopamine than you arguing with your anime friends about who can beat who in the fight and actually escalate your physical fight because you think Dragon Ball Z is real, metaphorically. Dealing with Arturo's jokes is way better than dealing with an opinionative anime nerd that doesn't shut the fuck up. Just like I forgot I did something when I was having fun, it's the same way that he forgot that I was being miserable. He's too busy having fun. He's inconsiderate. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you join the other side of the field. You don't feel considerate for somebody else. You don't feel considerate for a fucking insect. Even though he viewed me as a giant that didn't know what the fuck he was doing. That's exactly why he is a top tier manipulation. And, you know, when he literally became irreplaceable, when he beat me in Ultimate Ninja Storm, when he did all this, I'm like, dude, it sucks, you know, you have so much fucking potential, why would you let it go? And he uses that to his best advantage. His girlfriend was trying to bring the best out of him just like I was, but you know what made him an anti-peas in the pod is the fact that they both don't live up to their full potential. They both race their eyes. They're both losers because they don't actually care about themselves. They just want to get high and like literally try to waste time in life, and God just keep on telling them, face your problems head on. That's why he goes to a whole bunch of hell and torment, because when I became a celebrity is when he was going through shit the most. It literally sucks that you have to understand that Arturo is the master at manipulation only because he is the utmost irreplaceable out of all my friends, and that he is the most relatable, the most multidimensional, the most things I have in common, and he used that to the best advantage. He thought that I was going to feel sorry for him forever. And I called him out. After C didn't give him play anymore, I told him why. I'm like, I told you this would happen.